To Ready, Steady, Cook. Now then, we've got so many wonderful chefs that we thought we'd better throw in a few new boys, and we've got one of them today. We have Anthony Tobin playing Ainsley Harriott. Well, very nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
So, well, tell us about yourself. Where do you cook? And
I cook at a restaurant in Reigate in Surrey called The Dining Room.
where did you do your training?
I did my training in London with the great Nicola Dennis. 5 long years.
Oh, did it feel very long?
It felt quite long, yes, but
he's a bit of a stickler, isn't he?
He can be, but he's a very charming man.
Okay, so this means that your cooking is what, French influenced, or?
The basis is the French influence, but I'm more of an Italian man myself.
Italian
yes.
man? Well, I might have something. They might have a touch of the Italian influence on the show today. So, are you ready? Let's meet the first contestant who's going to play Ready, Steady, Cook. Hello, Sergio. Very nice to see you. Ainsley, this is our Italian influence. Please meet Sergio Dogliani.
Ciao.
Ciao. So, which bit of Italy are you really from?
From the north, Turin.
Turin.
Torino.
But now you're in London, are you?
Yes, I've been here for about 12 years.
And what do you do?
I'm a language teacher.
Ah, teaching us Italian?
Yes, yes.
We might have a bit of that later on then,
Absolutely,
mightn't we?
absolutely.
Sergio, please open up your bag. Tell us what you've got. And why have you brought it?
Oh.
Ooh, nice. Okay, I'll get rid of that.
Look at this.
Tell us.
Okay. Well, I thought, because I do like cooking Italian food, mostly at home, and I thought I wanted to try something a bit different and learn something different. So I thought I'd like to try something with coconut, for example. And something like, for example, in Italy we use risotto rice, which is quite different from this kind of rice. It's long grain rice. And then I got some chopped tomatoes, because as Italians we always need some
Tomatoes and everything.
somewhere in everything, and onions and chicken, of course. Yeah, because
And of course these lovely kidney beans, eh?
kidney beans. That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
and a green pepper and a chili as well. A green chili.
How much did all that cost you?
£3.85.
£3.85. Good.
Isn't it? Excellent.
Is that tickling your imagination, buds?
Oh, it's tickling more than my imagination, Ferg. Taste buds.
Right. Now then, let's see what we have for our new boy, Anthony. Let's meet the next contestant who's going to play Ready, Steady, Cook. Hello, Daniel. Lovely to see you. Now then, Anthony, this is Daniel Wells from Sutton at Hone. And if you were watching yesterday, you will know that Daniel's mum was here. And she was cooking with Stephen.
Yeah.
And she didn't win, I'm sorry.
she didn't win, so it's depression
on
in the
you,
household.
mate. You've got to bring home the 100 quid, all right?
It's on him, really.
I'll do my best.
Well, Daniel, welcome. Open up your bag. Tell us what you've got. Ooh. Right.
Being a student, I don't often get £5 to play with, so I bought some duck, because that's fairly extravagant. Also, being a student, we always have beans in the student house,
So haricot beans.
got
That's
some
like the
different
baked
types
beans,
of
isn't it?
beans. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
right.
baked beans without tomato sauce.
Yeah.
I am a red tomato,
Yes.
red tomatoes, and cook's favourite, some shallots.
Very nice. How much did that cost you?
£4.10p.
Oh, you went mad. You saved the 90p for yourself, did you?
Well, that's a pint almost, isn't it? Student prices.
Good, Daniel, good. Anthony, Ainsley, help yourself to the larder from the bits and bobs in there. Sergio and Ainsley, what are you going to cook up?
Oh, well, what immediately came to mind when I saw this sort of red kidney beans and stuff like that, and the creamed coconut and the rice, was that traditional sort of Jamaican classic dish, the coat of arms, the Jamaican coat of arms, actually, is rice and peas. You know, so rice and peas.
Oh, rice and peas.
Yes, it's absolutely. And then I'm going to do a nice spicy chicken to go with it, because I think that's the sort of traditional thing. Very much what I could associate with a sort of a Sunday day when my mother used to cook it up, spice it up and stuff like that. And of course I've got this lovely free-range corn chicken, and just as Sergio's mum was, just like a mama used to make. Is that all right? Yes?
Oh, you
Sounds
can't beat
good.
that, though. You can't beat her.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking
Sounds pretty good. What are you going to cook for Daniel, though, Anthony?
Right, we're going to make the duck nice and crispy. I'm going to take the bones out, because we're a bit
Short
under
of
pressure for time.
yeah.
So the bones are going to come out, and we're going to sort of salt that, maybe some herbs, some pepper on it, get it going in a cast iron pan, and then stick that in the oven.
Yes.
And forget about it until you say 1 minute to go. Meanwhile, we're going to make a puree out of the white beans, right? And then we'll sort of present that
however. Wickedly.
We're going to cut the ends, top and tails off the beans, just cook them, chop the shallots really fine, mix the beans with the chopped shallots, and I'm going to make some sweet and sour tomatoes, just to go around the edge, just to sort of
We
give a
haven't
little
had
bite
sweet and sour tomatoes before.
Well,
that
there you
sounds
go.
pretty good.
There you go.
There you go. The new boy's already come up with a few good ideas there. OK, when I say these words, you have only 20 minutes. So are you ready? Steady? Cook! Off you go. Free-range corn-fed chicken.
Isn't that wonderful, Fern? Now, I always encourage people, actually, if they ever get the opportunity to use free range. Here we are. Do you want to peel those for me, Sergio, when you get a chance? There you go, I'll leave those there. In order to use free range, Fern, because it really is, it's much more of a succulent meat. There's lots of flavour going on in there. And I'm just going to chop this up like we traditionally do on a Sunday, as I said. Nice bits blasting through there. Nice and small pieces, because we need to cook it nice and early. Fingers well out of the way.
I should say.
That's it.
So
Just
this is
chop that up
proper
there.
Jamaican stuff, this.
Yeah, it really is. It's the type of thing that my mother would get this and sort of
Just
normally
look at it.
she'd wash the chicken down. They love to wash the chicken with a bit of lemon juice. I'm going to put the lemon, it gives it a real freshness to it.
That's nice.
And then you spice it up and you let it marinate.
Yeah.
And the beauty
So was it your mum who taught you all your cooking?
very
got you
much so,
interested?
Fern, very much so. I
Yeah.
just sort of, you know, at the early stage, I can just remember her, you know, sort of calling me into the kitchen and saying, all right, Pudda. She'd call me Pudda, which means baby. Pudda, rub this into it. And I'd say, you know, rubbing it in like this. And so, and though she's not with us anymore, I just got so many fond memories of her, you know. It was just like really exciting going in the kitchen with it. I loved
think
it.
she's still with you somewhere.
Oh, yeah, somewhere there.
Definitely.
Somewhere
How
there. Mum, help me
fantastic.
cook this, wouldn't you? Hey! Hey!
Buddha needs some help.
Yes, exactly, Pudda.
That's it now. You're going to be Buddha from now on. Good. So that's
Totally.
going to chopped up bone and skin and everything in.
Everything in there, Fern.
Squeeze the
Really
lemons on
just
top.
squeeze that lemon juice on
This
there.
is a lovely
That's it.
idea.
That's it, just squeeze that, get that lemon juice in there and give it a good old squeeze, that's it. And really get that
What's
chicken
Mama
in
doing
there.
over here? Hey,
That's it.
Sergio, that's good.
Want to chop an onion?
Chopping an onion
Without
beautifully.
crying?
And you're left-handed.
Yes.
Hey, this is smart. So you're a very good Italian cook, are you?
Well, yes, I love cooking Italian food, yes. That's what I mostly cook. But occasionally I try and experiment on something different. That's
Did
why.
your mama teach you?
Yes, mostly, I would
Did
say.
she?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my poor boys, I'm not going to be able to teach them very much at all. I still can't get it right, but never mind.
In
Beautiful.
time, Fern.
Beautiful. 18 minutes left.
Lovely.
Oh, you literally washed it, squidged it on, squidged it, and
Squeeze it
then
on,
out.
let the flavour penetrate in there, that's it, and then literally out. If you get an opportunity, obviously because we're up against time a little bit, the opportunity is to let the lemon really sort of soak into it. But the beauty of this is that we're using free-range chicken, and as I say, it's superior.
It is, it's beautiful
Absolutely.
flavour. I'll come back, I'll see how Anthony's doing.
Okay.
Duckling.
Duckling, I've saved this one. I
Oh,
really
thank
need to
you.
get it on just to show you.
Yes.
Basically, I've just gone round the bone a little bit,
Yeah.
and then if you just go underneath,
Get it out.
keeping
Brilliant.
the knife as close to the bone as you can.
Brilliant. In the
Bone
stock
in the
pot.
bin. Lots of fat on this, so I'm sort of just going to trim the excess, the outside.
Yeah. May I just move that out of the way? That
Yeah,
might be
sure.
just
So it's kind of round, and obviously it will shrink when we cook it.
kind of round. That's the idea, is it,
yeah.
for this one? Good.
Presentation is everything.
I know, it's like playing chess. You guys always think of the presentation virtually before you've thought of the dish.
Of course. So I'm going to put some more salt on there because I want it. We want the skin to get really nice and crispy.
Yeah.
Dan, can you get me some olive oil, please?
Olive oil.
So I'm going to put this into a pan.
We've
I've had
had
this
3
on.
minutes now.
Okay, got the pan on.
Yeah.
It's quite hot. I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in there,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put it meat side down first, just for a few seconds.
That's interesting, because other people put it skin side down first.
But I'm going to present it on the skin side up, so it's going into the oven with the skin side down, so it gets nice and crispy.
Up.
Because I'm going to get the crispiness
this is
from
it.
the pan. So
You're
I'm just going to
always 4
seal
steps
it.
ahead of yourself. Seal the
Seal it.
meat first.
Seal the meat, keeping all the juices.
So
Then
that's
just
done, yeah.
turn it over, and then that, if I can get a cloth, I'm just going to stick that straight into the oven,
Yep.
a very hot oven.
So that's going to be a good 15 minutes in there, I should think. You've got
Thereabouts,
Good,
yeah.
excellent.
Maybe a
That'll
little
be
bit more.
enough.
Just a few more beans.
Does
in that.
pink dot matter?
It
I don't
doesn't
think that
matter.
will be pink, but does it?
No, it doesn't. But, you know, some people like pink, some people don't, so we're not going
Okay.
to cook it pink today. OK,
What's
I've got a
next?
pan here, which...
You have 16 minutes left now.
This is for my tomatoes. Dan's going to get me some sugar.
Brown or white?
Please. White, please. And all I'm going to do
Granulated,
is...
yeah?
Yeah, that's fine. Again, a little bit of olive oil in the pan. And I'm just going to sit the tomatoes in there, right, so the pan's nice and hot, and I'm going to cover them with lots of sugar, like this, and a little bit of salt, right?
Yes.
And then I'm just going to put that into the oven, and the sugar's going to caramelise. When it comes out, we're going to put some balsamic vinegar on there, and that's going to give us our sweet and sour. They're going to cook. I've left the skins on. I'll just put that in now. So it holds the tomatoes together. And the stalks for presentation.
Yeah,
you see?
You're well
It's all
ahead.
there.
And that one is standing by for something else.
I'm going to eat that later. Make a sandwich.
Ah, now that's something else this chef's do. Did you choose 3 because an odd number of things always looks better than an even number?
Absolutely. We always work with odd numbers. It presents much nicer.
It's like planting in the garden. Never put 4 geraniums in a pot, put 5.
Absolutely. And then I'm just going to put a pan on.
15 minutes now.
Cook my beans. Let me just get that going.
Yes.
And another pan on. It's very busy over here, isn't it?
Well,
Pan's
this is
going
calm,
everywhere.
I
So
think.
another
This
pan
is
on
calm.
here, just a little bit of water.
Yeah.
And Dan's opened the beans for me.
There you go.
And all I'm
Drain
going to do
them
is
off.
I'm just going to drain them off. I'm going to put them in to this pan. Season them with some salt and pepper.
You said you were going to puree these,
I'm going to make a puree
Yeah.
as a sort of a sauce. So I'm going to keep it quite runny. But really, the beans, they're cooked already. So I'm just going to bring it to the boil, warm them through, and it just makes it easier to
How
puree it.
useful are tinned beans and things like that in a restaurant? Would you go for that, or do you have them... Oh,
away my
trade
secrets now.
Come on.
Yes, in some cases I use tinned beans. Again, it depends how you push for time,
Yes.
you know. But no, normally we'd soak them. But occasionally, you know, I have been known to use tinned beans.
There's nothing wrong with
No,
them.
nothing
They're
wrong with it
done.
at all.
That's
Absolutely, they're all
14 minutes left
Okay.
now. Now, Dan, your mum was on yesterday and she
Yes.
was pretty good.
Yeah, that's it.
Unfortunately, just pipped to the
Lost.
post, but that doesn't matter. But
No.
are you a good cook? I mean, young, how old are you, 21?
21, yeah.
And you're studying...
Computing, so a
Yes.
little bit different to a kitchen.
But you like chefing as well, do you?
I like cooking, yeah. I don't know if it's quite chefing. That's perhaps the wrong
Wow.
descriptive word of it.
And who taught you how to cook?
My mum did.
All these
and a big
wonderful
fat
mothers.
cookbook.
And a big fat cookbook.
Yeah.
And you really enjoy it?
Yeah.
Do you impress girlfriends with your cooking?
No. They don't like my cooking.
Why not? What do you
I
do?
normally add salt and tomato sauce to it.
Sounds all right to me.
Salt and tomato sauce.
Sounds okay. We've had tomato sauce on this show plenty of times.
Yeah, that's right.
Shallot being
shallots,
chopped
very
up.
finely diced. You know
Yes.
how fine that is. It's so fine you can put it in your hand and blow it into the wind.
Confetti.
Absolutely.
Ah.
So, but we're just gonna. That's just gonna add a little bit of flavour to our beans
Yep.
when we're ready,
And that's it.
and that's it.
I'll
Really,
go.
we're all.
I'll go. See how Ainsley's doing with Sergio.
We've got a bit of a cloth there. Just
What are you looking for,
I'm
darling?
just looking for a cloth there, Fernie, just to do a
We
bit
have
of a... bit of
13 minutes
wiping up
left.
there. Here we are.
13 minutes. And the rice has gone in, or obviously
The
you've
rice
done
has gone in, glazing the rice there, you can see
bit
that.
of oil and onion
it.
and what else is
Beautiful.
in there?
Bit
Garlic?
of oil, yeah, garlic. You can smell the garlic
Yeah.
coming through there. Kidney beans, all the juice from the kidney beans, everything that's in there, all of that goes in, Fern.
Really?
Everything goes in. That makes that actually taints the colour of the rice. If
Yes.
you use fresh kidney beans and you soak them, you put the water over them, and then you soak them, literally you just soak them overnight, change it 2 or 3 times the water, then you can leave it overnight. Then the most important thing is that final change, because you don't change the water and then you just put them on, like most pulses. It makes you a bit windy, Fern. It's true.
Not me, because I'm a girl. But anyway.
No, but it's true. It's true. Everybody knows that. It's very, very important with all these pulses and stuff. The final rinse. Then, once you've rinsed off your fresh kidney beans, you'll bring that up to the boil and cook them. Probably takes about 25, 30 minutes. But this tin cuts out all that.
Oh, it's quicker to buy a tin.
And of course, it gives it much more of a red tinge. Sergio, just pour some of that in here for me, please.
That looks lovely.
That's it. Pour some of that
12
in there.
minutes left
Now, in
now.
here, Fern,
Yes, what
I've
have
got
you
1
done?
sachet of the creamed coconut.
Uh-huh.
That's it, Sergio. Right, we'll just
Let's have
let
a
that
look at
boil
this.
up. 1 sachet of the creamed coconut.
Here we are. In this box was 2 convenient recipe-sized sachets, and it's not creamed at all. It's quite stiff,
More, just a little bit more.
and you've
Yep.
reconstituted it with a bit of hot water. have you?
Absolutely, and it's wonderful. That's it. Lovely. Yeah, we'll see. We can always
Is
add a
this
little
going
bit.
like a risotto? Add gently, gently.
No, not at all, Fern. I'm just I can see by the consistency, because once you heat up the grains and they're kind of glazed, you can tell how much fluid you should actually add to it.
How?
Yeah, well, it's because immediately it boils up. It sort of takes it on almost immediately. The old Chinese way of doing things, in fact, or cooking rice, when you're doing plain boiled rice, is 1 inch. As long as you've got more than 1 inch, in your pan of rice, then you have 1 inch of water above that. That's the secret. But in this case, you've got all that's creamed coconut. We've got the juice there. It immediately starts to soak up some of those lovely flavours.
11 minutes
A little
left.
bit of time, fresh time.
I tell you what,
from there.
before I started doing this programme, I thought rice was easy, and now it's got harder and harder. I don't understand. Oh, chicken looks
Beautiful.
lovely.
All right,
Now,
then.
what have you washed it in the lemon juice?
Washed it in the lemon
You've
juice.
added what
I've
to
added
it?
some spice. I'm just going to put a bit of thyme in there, Fern.
Oh, yeah,
You can
in the
see I'm
rice.
putting big pieces, so it will actually just take
it
on the
smells
flavour,
nice.
and I can actually remove it. Then I also want some thyme in here.
Yeah.
Just grab that thyme. Just
What
pull
else
that
have
off
you
there.
added to the
Now I've
chicken?
got some curry powder, a little bit of cayenne in there,
Yes.
just to sort of spice it up there a little
Yes.
bit. Wooden spoon.
Did you roll the chicken in the powder?
Yeah, roll the spoon.
Yeah.
And we just want to brown that off quite nicely. And you can see how that's coming up browning. Now to that, we're going to add our peppers. Sir, do you want to put that in? Peppers and the onions.
Finely
Just chop
chopped
those in
peppers.
there. Finely chopped peppers and the onions, all of that in there.
Yeah.
Sweat that down again, really fry that off, let all those flavours come out. And then I'm going to, beautiful.
You're halfway now,
And then I'm
gentlemen.
going to add
Halfway.
the tomato. That's it. So we've got 10 minutes there, really intense heat. Lid on there, really cook them out.
We'll do in time, won't it? That's plenty
I'm
of
going to
time.
really sort of cook it, really cook that down.
It's the coconut smell of the rice is
You
delicious.
can smell it, and the thyme, the garlic, all of that's in there. Just
So when you
reduce
said
that
at the
heat.
beginning rice and peas, it's not quite as simple as that. It's rice and kidney beans
Rice-
with coconut milk.
Yes, but various different types of peas you can get. You can get the gungu peas. You can get gungu peas, they're like pigeon peas, they call them. So you can get all the black-eyed beans, for instance. They use a whole variety of beans. Kidney beans is just something that, you know, it's just another choice.
So a pea isn't what we think is a pea in
No,
Jamaica.
not the green garden peas. People often say
Ah.
rice and peas and they think it's just going to be the green
Yes,
garden
yes.
peas. No, it's
No,
not like that at all.
beans.
Do you have that type of thing in Italy, or is it just strictly
Yes,
risotto?
there is actually a rice and peas dish as well, funny enough.
And
Yeah,
what
in
sort
the
of-
north,
what is the
near
peas
Venice.
then?
It's green peas.
Oh, the green
yeah,
peas, yes.
That's right, yeah. It's
And
quite-
is it
it's
quite
funny.
moist like a risotto?
It
or-
is a kind of, yeah. Yeah,
Delicious.
All
Do you
these
cook that?
flavours going on.
No, actually, not that one, because it's different apart from Italy, and I'm not particularly an expert in that kind of cookery. Yeah. But
CABC.
Risi busy, bravo, bravo.
Risi abisi. Is this the name of this rice?
It
well
is, yeah,
done,
yeah.
Anthony. Did you know that?
Eh? Did I know it was
Risi.
That's something in
BCRC?
Italian,
No, I
in
didn't know that.
dialect as well.
But I think it was worth
Oh, he's
3
being
red
very
tomatoes,
smart,
though.
isn't he? Very good. And at home, who are you cooking for?
At home, well, mostly for my wife Emma and my little boy Zaki. He's 2. And
likes
he
Italian
likes
food.
Italian food. He loves pasta, all kinds, all different kinds
Delicious.
of pasta.
Oh, yes, well, children love pasta.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, very good food.
there.
Now, what's gone in there? The chilli?
I've just put some chilli. I had the chilli in there, a little bit of garlic in there. Really, it's all sweating away there quite beautifully, Fern.
Yes.
And last time, I'm going to put that tomato in there and really just thicken it up and cook it right down. You can see that. Oh, the flavour
really
just
does
smells and everything.
Okay, now, the chilli, you didn't bother to take out the seeds or
Now,
anything?
on this time, we're looking for quite a spicy dish, Fern.
Because the
That
seeds
is
are the
different-
hot bit,
The
aren't they?
seeds are the hot bit, and there's quite, you like it a bit spicy, don't
Yes,
you,
I
Sergio?
like something different.
Ooh, lovely. Oh, it's from the north, you know.
Near Turin. Risi bisi.
What do you like, Fern?
Your back.
Oh, yes, good. Why?
Lots of smoke in the oven.
Good. These
The
are the roast
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
There you
Hang
go.
on, can you
So-
recap on these
Right,
tomatoes?
this is sugar,
Yes.
salt.
Yes.
Put the tomatoes in, cover them with sugar and salt, put them into the oven.
There was a bit of oil
They're
in
just
there.
starting to cook. A tiny little bit of oil.
Yes.
Now put some balsamic vinegar in there. That's lifting all that sweetness off the pan. I'm going to finish that with a little bit of olive oil and just let those cook down
Oh,
just till it thickens up. Can you smell it?
yes. I
Okay.
must say.
I've now put my beans in
Yep.
to cook. Once they're cooked, I'm just going to put them straight into this bowl with some shallots and olive oil, and we'll just let them sit. We want them warm.
Lovely. You've got 7 minutes, by the
So
way, 7 minutes.
Now I'm going to make a puree of this. I've just
All right, the
basically
beans
put the beans are in.
What did you do? Boil them up?
They've just been boiled
Yeah.
with some salt and pepper,
Yeah.
and I'm going to blend them.
Please. Smells very beany.
And that's thick, but I want it quite thin, so I've kept the cooking liquor.
Yes.
I'm going to,
It's just the water that you boiled them up in.
yeah, just a little bit thinner than that.
So you want a nice thinnish sauce
Nice
consistency.
finished sauce.
Yeah. What else goes in there? Nothing?
That's it. Just I'm going to taste it, and then I'm going to season it. White beans are a wonderful flavour when they're pureed. Spoon.
No, you're allowed to. Come and have a look. All he did was whiz up the beans with a little bit of the liquid that he cooked them up in, and enough to make it sort of tomato soup consistency. That's all I can think of.
Tastes like
And
baked
it
beans
tastes
without
like-
the tomato
Have
sauce.
a taste, have a taste.
I'm not allowed to use my finger. I've got to find
There's
a
a
spoon.
little
There's a
spoon
spoon
under
under
there.
there.
6 minutes left.
minutes. We're doing well.
All is
We're
calm
going to
so
check the
far.
duck.
What does it
How's
taste
it
like?
like?
Baked beans with tomato soup.
No, it's not like baked beans. It's something different than baked beans,
Oh, damn.
but just as nice.
I'm just going to add a little bit of chopped parsley.
Anything
to
it
that
needs?
first.
Oh, chopped parsley.
Yeah,
Yes,
just to
that's
give it
what
some
does,
colour.
isn't it? Yeah.
And we'll give it one last.
Blitz. Yes. That's the bit
Doesn't that just finish
makes
it off?
look absolutely. Yep. Good.
So, right, I'm going to put that in a little bowl.
Uh-huh.
So I'm ready to go.
Now, these fine beans, they're not runner beans. What are they called, the green beans?
Well, we call them French beans, and they come from Kenya. So you work that one out. I don't sure.
Fine beans, fine green beans.
Fine green beans. But
tomatoes.
do you still live at home?
Oh, yes. Make it too easy for me to move
Smart
away.
move, yes.
I have lived away, but I'll move back.
You're in spitting distance of home. That's
So
very
I get my
sensible.
shirts on.
I was going to say, Mum does run.
Yeah, washing.
She's
washing
a very
up.
nice lady yesterday. You got less than 5 minutes. What have you got now?
It's all caramelised now, so it's
Yum,
sweet
yum.
and sour.
Look. Do you like sweet and sour?
The
stuff?
tomatoes are
That's
sort
what I
of
do, yeah.
just cooked nicely. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil, and I'm actually going to use this as a dressing over our duck. I've just decided that. It just came to me now.
Okay.
So
It'll have a lovely
It'll-
glazy look to it, won't it?
I hope so. I hope so. Now the
There's quite a
beans
lot of
are
olive oil in
cooked,
there.
right? They're still quite crunchy.
Yes,
But
they've
they're not
had,
too
what,
crunchy.
3 minutes?
Yeah, about three to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He says.
Shall I get rid of that?
Into the confettied
Into the
shallots.
confettied shallot.
Lovely.
While they're
do
nice
look
and
pretty.
hot.
When they're done. Yep.
And I'm going to put olive oil in and just let that sit, and that's going to take on
4
all
minutes
the
now.
fruitiness of the olive oil. We'll just sort of
Mix it up a
mix
bit.
it up,
An awful lot of oil going on in here.
but no cream.
True.
No
That's
butter.
true. Yes, there are people who do oil, butter and cream.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just getting myself, well, we call this
Sorted.
mise en place.
Yes.
To put in place. I'm getting all my mise en place lined up here.
Very mise en place.
Ready to, ready for the last run.
Tomatoes ready.
So leave that there.
I'll leave you.
Thank you.
And wait for the duck to get sorted out.
Breathe now, just to let that really breathe out there. That's coming along.
Wow. Why have you dug a hole in the middle?
I want to let it breathe now. Normally when you're cooking on rice and peas like this, my mum will put it on at 12 o'clock. We wouldn't eat till 4, you know. So it'd be nice, slow, little bit of a cooking. So we're under heat there. That just allows it to breathe, allows it sort of the air to come through it, which dries it out a little bit quicker. Just slightly off course there. Turn that down. Look at the chicken here.
Wow. No.
See,
You've
that's
added
really,
the tin of tomatoes.
Yeah, no, I've added, no, not the whole tin of tomatoes in here. I've added about half the tin of tomatoes.
yes.
I've added some of our the coconut and the stock. Remember the coconut
Yes,
stock that I have
yes,
with the chicken
yes.
there?
Got 3
And
minutes
that's just
now.
cooking out beautifully. So it's just a case of that's cooking out there
That
quite
looks
nicely there.
fabulous.
You can see
Do
that. We're just-
Italians cheat and use tin chopped tomatoes?
Oh, yes. There's nothing wrong with tin chopped tomatoes. It's
That's
fine.
good.
Yeah, you
Check
can
and look at that face.
For some
See?
things, they're ideal
And
thing.
Valentina tells us
Cooking
it's
beautifully.
cooking beautifully. Valentina always tells us that you do, real Italians use the dried pasta. They don't make their own.
Yes,
use
no,
fresh.
it's a special occasions you use fresh pasta, but otherwise, for every day, fresh pasta is
good.
fine.
See, we're all busy getting out the machines and
I
making...
know, he does all the
Ridiculous.
bits and pieces. But, you know, he's married to, his wife's actually an opera singer.
Is she?
Which I think is really unusual.
Is she? Is she Italian too?
No, she's English, actually.
How did you meet then?
Oh, it's, well, we actually met, I was working. She wanted to learn Italian, obviously improve her Italian for the singing, because obviously, as you know, opera is sung not in Italian. So she came to do a course, because I do teach Italian.
Italian, yeah.
And she came join the intensive course, and she came over, and somehow we ended up in the situation which we are
She
now.
slipped you a little note, something, wasn't it?
She did, at the end of the course, actually.
you go
That's right. And I said, "Si, grazie."
Oh, how lovely!
That's what
How
she did.
romantic.
That's true.
How romantic.
Very romantic. How long ago was this?
6 years ago. 6 years ago.
And now you've got little Zaki as well.
That's
You've got 1.5 minutes
Oh,
left.
lovely.
So this has got to be the food of love.
This has
then,
got to, oh,
over here.
absolutely, absolutely.
I say, when did you knock this up?
He
This
just
is
did it himself. Slices there of lime and lemon, you can see there.
Yes.
This is very much,
And the
and I like that
pepper.
kind of fresh colour there. And the peppers there, just to give it a little bit of a
lattice
lift.
looking.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Dan, what have we got over here?
And we're just putting
We'll
down
put
the
our sweet and
caramelised
sour
tomatoes.
tomatoes on.
Yes, the caramelised sweet and sour tomatoes.
The,
1 minute now.
We're just going to
With the
Remember it's
parsley
all-
flecked through it.
Remember at school when you used to sort of put the paint on and blow with the straw? That's the sort of effect I'm looking for.
Oh, right. Here's the straws then.
There, look, there's
45 seconds now. 45 seconds. You're You've been terribly calm over here, Anthony. It's brilliant for your first outing. We need knives and forks and glasses of wine as well. Look at this. The student sorted. 30 seconds. There we go. That's the lovely deck on the top. 25 seconds.
25.
Look at that chicken. That looks... How many are you cooking for here? 20 seconds. There's the drizzle of the wonderful glaze. 15 seconds. 12 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8. Bit of time going in the middle. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop cooking. That was brilliant. They look so cool and calm in the last few seconds. Excellent. Well, now you have to decide, of course, who the winner is. So, Sergio, this is your chance to taste everything. What are you going to call this, Ainsley?
I'm going to call this Mamma Mia, it's wicked chicken and rice and peas.
Your raw ingredients were the corn-fed free-range chicken, rice, a tin of chopped tomatoes, coconut cream, green chilli, onion, green pepper, and the little tin of kidney beans. What did you do?
What I did was nice and spicy, isn't it? It really kicks in there. What I did was I washed my chicken in the lemon, chopped it up first, chopped it up into nice small little bits, because there's nothing like sucking a bit of bone, is there? Like, bit of bone. Washed it in the lemon juice. Then I put some curry powder and the cayenne pepper in there, and just spiced it up, a little bit of salt, seasoned it. Heated up the oil, started to fry it off there, nice and hot. When we want a nice heat there, we had the peppers and onions and garlics and everything chopped, and the chilli too. All of that goes in there, just cooking down, and you can get a nicer brown tinge to it. Tomato, the tin of tomato inside, a little bit of the stock that I also used in the rice, which consisted of creamed coconut and the chicken stock inside it with some water. Pour that in there, let it cook down quite beautifully. The rice and peas, onion in the pan there, kidney beans with the rice, all sweated off, kidney beans. Then I cooked it down with some stock, a little bit of garlic in there, fresh thyme in there, reduced it down, and that was it.
How is it?
It's fantastic. It really is nice.
Is it? And in Italian?
Fantastic. Yes. Buonissimo.
Wow, buonissimo.
Thank you.
Daniel, tuck in. What are you going to call this one, Anthony?
We're going to call this Dan's Come Round and See Me Sometime Duck.
The raw ingredients were the 2 legs of duckling, shallots, tomatoes, haricot beans, and the fine green beans. And what did you do?
Right, well, first of all, we took the bone out of our duck and we got it into a nice hot pan, got it straight in the oven so we could crisp up the skin nice and crispy. Then we did our tomatoes, sweet and sour tomatoes. We cooked them with some sugar and salt, put them into the oven until they started to soften. Then we sort of deglassed the pan with some balsamic vinegar, finished it with a little bit of olive oil so that we could dribble round. We took our white haricot beans and we cooked them in just salted water with a bit of pepper. Then we put them into the blender, pureed them, and then thinned that down with some of the jus. We cooked our beans, we chopped up our shallots, cooked our beans, mixed them with the shallots, again a little bit more olive oil, and then we sort of just put it all together.
It looks beautiful. How does it taste?
Well, so nice, I've still got a mouthful, really.
Is it going to be any left in a minute? Just keep eating. Right, is it going to be green peppers or red tomatoes? Would you please vote now? All close, but it's green peppers! Sergio! £100 to spend on food with our love. Thank you very much. Well done, you. Very good, very good. Well, Anthony, you did extremely well on your first outing with us. You were very close as well. Dan, thank you very much indeed. And well, your mum had the hamper, and so you know how delicious it is.
That's been eaten already.
Well, you've got another one to go home with tonight.
Tomorrow.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much indeed. Good luck with all the cooking and the computer studies. And thank you very much for watching. We look forward to seeing you very soon from all of us. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That looks amazing.
The price some people pay for ambition, the topic for Esther, next on BBC Two.
I could not stop saying him.